Hell, comic book fans, today we are talking about another comic from Zaid Comics known as The Silhouette. And this took me by surprise. The cover of it is badass alone. It's very simple, but as you open the book, you start to realize you get like a Sin City-ish style from it, right? A Sin City vibe from this, but it's something much more, I would say, like not darker, but a more of a subtle disturbance from this book. And it's because we follow this guy. He doesn't know who he is or who he was before. He only knows what he has become now. And the comic portrays him as this black figure. And that's how he looks in this world. It's not how he sees himself. He's the embodiment of like darkness itself. And as he's just walking through the city, it is just him talking about how destroyed the city is, and just how out of whack things are. And he even acknowledges his own appearance. And he tells us, I don't know what happened. He doesn't, the story, there's a lot it doesn't give you. From the start, you have a lot of questions just about the main character alone before you even get into the city itself. And just by him walking and them showing people here and there, you start to get the world building of the city. And again, that's why I say it's kind of like a Sin City style ish from reading this. And there's even a part where there's a mother, and she's talking about, she was hungry, and he keeps walking past her because he realized she's just a drug addict. And the people in the city are just doomed. And again, as he's walking, he's telling us about this person, about what that person's doing, and people are saying how doomed the city is, how doomed the world around him is. And the art is black and white, and it does a beautiful job of portraying the city and the people in it, and the detail. It's just, for me anyway, it was great. And as he's walking, he gets a sense of someone actually innocent, right? A young girl that is actually, unlike everybody else, being attacked by this ruthless thug. And we don't know how he senses this, but he does. He comes to her aid immediately. And this is where we see where his moral lies, right? We see the part that he plays in the city. He sees himself as an embodiment of justice of sorts. And he fights for this girl. And we see that he gets shot, right? And he goes down. We see three obvious holes that go through him, and the guy falls to the ground. And then the criminals start to look for the girl, but she's been gone. And we see again, this guy gets taken down, but see how he looks on the ground. It doesn't look like a regular body. And then when he gets up, and he doesn't just get up and like starts fighting crime like Daredevil or Batman or whatever, he places his hand on the dude's shoulder. This turns into a horror comic, at least for the criminal in this situation, because he just took this guy down as he thought. And then that's when we get a backstory. We know the abilities of this mystery man and how he deals with this criminal. And we see he's able to tell this guy his entire life story, at least his criminal record right in front of him, how he's paid off police, how he's pretty much done every sinister crime in the book. And then we get this insane visual of what he actually does to this guy. He doesn't just beat him up, he doesn't give him to the police, but obviously that doesn't work. He ends him where he stands. And this is I love this part of the story, because the only thing that is red or shows color is the guy's heart. And he reached into his heart, grabbed this heart, and then he just crushed in his hand. And the dialogue that is in the story, some of the best dialogue I've seen within a comic book, period. Like, It is amazing how this story is told, and he crushes the heart in this guy's hand, and then you can see it turn black. And then the dude is just sitting there with his chest opened, and then he just leaves him there. He's done with him, and he just leaves him there. And then the deed is done, right? He took care of the actual criminal in this situation. And then it's just a simple like story, right? He's telling about the city, sees the bad guy, stops the bad guy, and then he keeps going. And then that's the end of the story. For me personally, this is one of more greater experiences I've had with a comic book. It feels very old school, and yet it is something new and refreshing. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching. We are closing in on 600 subscribers.